You want to be a giver, you got to teach to give. You want to be a taker, you got to start taking. And you guess what? You become a taker. And we celebrate life.
Welcome to the Fish and Coach Show. My name is Brandon Fisher. This is Coach Radner. Purim is right around the corner, Coach. Is it just the Jewish Halloween?
Well, people look at it as a Jewish Halloween, but there's a big difference between Purim and Halloween. I mean, besides the fact that basically on both holidays, what do?
We dress up in costumes.
We dress up in costumes, right?
We also eat a lot of sugar.
Both of them, right?
Both of them.
Yeah. So the difference I'm going to explain to you, because Purim is a Jewish holiday, and Halloween is more of a, I guess, it's secular holiday that's come out from not good sources, let's just say. But the difference is we both dress up. But on Halloween, what do kids do on Halloween?
They go get candy.
They go. What do they say when they go to the door?
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. So basically,
smell my feet.
Smell my feet. Yeah, right. Give me some candy. So
right.
what they're doing, they're basically saying, "Give me some candy." Do they say, "Please give me some candy"? They say, "Trick or treat." No, they say, "Trick or treat." I'm going to trick you or treat you. And I know no one's being serious. No one's going to really trick you, but it's our mentality. Things we do that even when we don't think about them affects our life later on. On Purim, there's a mitzvah for Jews to give a package of food to your friends and families and people who are the Jewish people. It's called Mishloach Manot, and we give it away. Instead of us going, hey, give me that, we're saying, here's something for you, here's something for you, here's something for you. It teaches you about giving instead of taking.
Oh, that's good.
You see the difference?
I see the difference.
And the other issue is that on Halloween, we used to live in Rockville, and we had a neighbor who had unbelievable. It was like a movie set. I'm sure many people have seen this, where people have these monsters in their thing, and he ends up getting and he gets the fog machines and sound machines. And this guy was a builder, so he had a lot of
that's
help.
Exciting! Wow.
So for like a month before, he's building the set around this house, and I'd pull out of my driveway, because this driveway was next to mine, and I'd see like a dead body hanging down from a tree upside down with fake blood coming out of it.
Oh, that's
And I think to myself,
crazy.
What kind of holiday is this? What is this teaching us? What is this holiday showing us that we should like enjoy gore and killing and monsters and ghosts and is that positive? I don't know.
Death, yeah.
I'm not sure death's positive. You can decide for yourself. But on Purim, it's a little different. The reason that Jews celebrate Purim is because back in ancient times, when the Jews, after they got kicked out of Israel and they went to Persia, which is modern-day Iran, there was an attempt. The king's helper, Haman, tried to exterminate all the Jews, kill all the Jews. We've heard that before, right?
Right.
And it was saved. A Jewish person saved the day. Queen Esther, she saved the day, and her uncle Mordecai. And we celebrate life.
They weren't killed.
They weren't killed.
We're celebrating
the
opposite of death.
The opposite of death, which means they weren't killed. So there's a big difference about how we look at the holiday, even though you can say, yeah, Halloween is for fun, it's for kids. Yeah, but these things, you don't think much of them. They do stick in your mind. They stick with you throughout life. You want to be a giver, you got to teach to give. You want to be a taker, you got to start taking. And guess what? You become a taker. Now, I'm not saying everyone's going to become a taker if they go celebrate Halloween, but it's just a different mentality that we have. That's all.
Right. That's so good.
Yeah.
Versus giving and getting used to giving and dressing up for reasons of life.
Yeah.
In costumes that elicit happy emotions.
Right. There's a mitzvah to drink on Purim where you can't tell the difference between blessed is Mordecai, one of the heroes of the story, and cursed is Haman, the evil guy in the story. Now, you would say, well, I can't tell the difference between someone who's blessed and someone who's cursed. But that's not the difference. The difference is that in life, sometimes, if you ever had something good happen to, let's say something good happened to a friend of yours. Like a friend of yours got married. Were you happy for them?
Of course.
You were happy for them, right? Now, what about someone you didn't like? When something bad happened to them, how'd you feel?
I have to admit.
You feel better about bad happening to someone that's an enemy of yours than something good happening to someone that's a friend of ours. This is a very common thing. And
sometimes people write it off saying, "Oh, it's karma."
It's karma, right?
Which means that you feel good about the situation happening to them.
Right, it's karma. They're bad things. But the thing I'm trying to tell you is that we feel better about something bad happening to someone that we don't like than how we feel good about something. It's about someone that we do like. And we have a friend, let's say, for example, that had a hard time getting pregnant, and they got pregnant. You're so happy. You're really happy. But I got to tell you something. If there's a guy that you hate, and he got into a car accident, you're like, yeah, that guy had it coming to them. You're way happier about something bad happening to him than something good happening to a friend. And so in Purim, we have to not tell it the idea that Purim's trying to teach us, you know what? You should not be so happy about something bad happening to somebody else. You should be equally happy about something good happening to someone that you have a good relationship with.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, right?
And when both happen to you, I think it's also about seeing the good in the situation.
Yeah.
You can't tell the difference. You know that the bad thing is going to be good in the future.
In Judaism, we don't celebrate death. Even our enemies, we don't celebrate death. In fact, there's in the Bible, in the Torah, when the Jews crossed the Red Sea, when the sea split and the Jews crossed, and then the Egyptians came in after them, right? And then the sea closed up, and guess what? All the Egyptians died.
Right.
And that happened. Actually, we have a holiday coming up called Passover. That happened on the seventh day of Passover, which we celebrate Passover now in April. That happened on the seventh day, and because of that, when Jews pray throughout the holiday of Passover, on the seventh day, there's prayers they don't say. There's joyous prayers that they normally would say, and they don't say it on the seventh day of Passover for that reason, because we don't celebrate the death even of our enemies.
Rabbi Jonathan Sachs spills a little bit of wine. We all spill a little bit of wine for each of the plagues as we read them, because we're spilling a little bit of wine which represents happiness, as we're not happy about the suffering of our enemies, but we are happy about the result that it led to.
Right. It's funny when you see like 9/11 happened, and you saw the news shows showing, Palestinian Arabs, celebrating the street when people are dying. That's one thing that is not really built into the DNA of the Jewish person. I mean, I'm sure some Jews celebrate the death of their enemies, but in general, you don't see the Israeli government bragging about the fact that we killed these many. And in fact, they're very, very calm about the fact that, no one should really like the death of people, but we don't celebrate the death of our enemies. It's not something for us to celebrate, so much so that it's gotten to our Jewish law that we're not allowed to celebrate, we're not allowed to be joyful for the death of people.
We even mourn, to a degree, the misfortunes of our enemies.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't want any humans to suffer.
So there's a lot more to Purim than just, drinking and dressing up. And, the reason that we drink is so we understand that we want to make sure that when we're happy about one of our friends, something good happening to them, that we're just as happy about that as we are about something bad happening to one of our enemies.
That's right. Have a happy Purim.
Happy Purim.
Chag Sameach. This is the Fish and Coach Show.
See you next time.